Should you put it down so we can see it?
At the time of this filming, we would have been 110 days living in this bus. Can you believe that?
No.
To celebrate, we're going to answer some questions that people have in regards to the bus life. What's it like? A lot of people are asking us too, what's it like after living in a bus for 110 days? And not just living in a bus, but traveling around a lot. So we posted to Instagram, what are some questions you have? If you guys are interested in following us on Instagram so that you can be part of this question and answer thing, there should be a link up in our banner on YouTube, so check that out. Life schoolers, what's an unexpected blessing?
For me, I think I was like always really nervous to go tiny. And it was like a fear thing for me, like, oh no, what happens if I'm gonna need something? I feel like it's an unexpected blessing of like, I feel great about it, and we're gonna continue this type of living tiny. We're not gonna live this tiny, but as far as like not having a bunch of junk.
Every time we move, can be every 1 to 3 days, we gotta clean. So that's an unexpected blessing in that we have that accountability there, and we're forced to clean every 3 days, so keep it pretty nice in here. St. Fiacre's Farm, thank you for asking. You're wondering how my Lyme disease is doing? With the diet and everything on the road, I think it's doing fine. I mean, I continually feel better and better. My primary symptom is pain in my feet, but that seems to be slowly residing. We're on a protocol. It's a little harder to remember it on the road, but for the most part, I remember and I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Mrs. Casey Foltz, does it ever feel claustrophobic in the bus? Well, no. Why would it ever feel claustrophobic? Just kidding. I'm just messing with you. It is tight in there. I guess that's probably our tightest spot, wouldn't you say, Beauty?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel claustrophobic?
Not really claustrophobic. Sometimes I do miss like being able to go into a room and shut the door, get away from the kids.
Yeah. For the most part, we're not in here.
Yeah.
So on rainy days when we're parked, that can be a little tough. Another person asked about that, so I'll go ahead and answer that. Rainy days, parked.
Rough.
That's when we break out the screen time.
Yeah, or
save it for that.
Or we find an indoor activity to do.
Exactly.
Something. But I don't really like staying in the bus. You know, I mean, I love my space, but it seems more difficult to keep them in here.
Yeah.
It's easier just to go out and find something to do, like a library or a museum or something.
Oh, that's Cuddle. You want to read the next one?
Baby snakes, are you ever going to go back to a house? Yes, we are most definitely going to go back to a house. I don't think I could do bus living with 4 kids under 10 for a really long time. I mean, a year is a long time.
Red's Farm, AZ, what would we tell somebody about to embark on the similar type adventure? It's gonna be way more expensive than you imagine, or more expensive than you imagine.
It's gonna take way longer than you think.
You're gonna have more troubles than you can imagine.
Yeah. But it is worth it. I mean, we do have an amazing...
That's fair.
Bus, tiny home, RV, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, my kids are rough on this, and we've had a couple things break, but I mean, they're kids, and things are gonna break because kids are, but I was thinking about it today. I was like, if this wasn't like an RV made of fiberboard,
yeah,
we would have way trashed this way long ago. So I feel like after 100 days, like it's normal to have something that has so much wear and tear on it by little boys, especially climbing on stuff. So I don't think that it's, you know.
And being that it's more difficult than you can ever imagine, we're 110 days into it, and we're still into it, and we're still gonna finish.
Yeah.
So that says something.
So it's not like all horrible. 40 and strong, has this tour made you miss and appreciate Asheville? Well, I feel like we always did appreciate it because we have traveled and always come home and like realize that we do have an amazing place in Asheville and Fletcher. Like, we really do love it. I do miss it way more than I thought I would.
And we continue to realize that for us, North Carolina is home.
For sure.
I haven't found anything better. No offense to anybody in these
No.
beautiful, wonderful states, but
Yeah, I mean, definitely North Carolina is home for us.
Winsome Meadows Homestead wants to...
Sorry.
It's all right.
Okay, go.
You tired? Nobody asked that, but are you tired?
I am tired.
Are we tired? Well, what are we going to do about it?
Sometimes, yes, we are tired. Hopefully, we're at home getting some rest right now.
Oh, yeah. When you see this, we're getting a break because we've uploaded this before this published.
Yeah.
So don't worry too much about us. Winsome Meadows Homestead, your 10-year-old son wants to know what the boys do to occupy themselves while they're gone or while we're traveling. Let me show you. These. Tell them how this has changed the game.
So the kids love to listen to audiobooks, and we tried to do it where it was like where everybody could listen to it, but I don't know, Justin and I couldn't communicate, and it was just a lot. So,
we had to have it so loud because the bus is so
yeah, the bus is a little bit noisy as it's driving down the road. It's like, you know, and so we had to have the book so loud. Justin and I couldn't communicate to talk about where we were going or if he needed to turn left. So we remembered that I had purchased some earphones, and we just hook these into the computer with a couple splitters so that all the kids can listen to it, and it works out beautifully. I think that they're more connected to the story because they can hear it better. And they are just really in tune to listening. They love Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, James and the Giant Peach, the Narnia collection. We listen to Curious George. They have a whole bunch of books, and we're continually adding books into it. And they just love, they just love it.
Rich Yang, is there any one or two things you wish you could have added to the bus to make your life easier if space wasn't an issue?
Wow. A dishwasher. I mean, who doesn't love a dishwasher?
All right, let me show them this. A dishwasher? What? What do we need a dishwasher for?
Wow.
I'm just messing with you.
It would just be nice to have that space. But I mean, of course, then it's like the space of the dishwasher, but then also the space of like the water. Yeah. There's like a whole thing to it. So a dishwasher is not.
I'm totally agreeing with you if there was possible.
Yeah.
Because I'm the one that mostly does those dishes, and that takes a long time, and that takes away from filming, from seeing farms, from being with the kids. The kids are maybe cleaning up in here, but it's just not the same.
And they can't really do the dishes.
No.
Water in a motorhome or RV is like...
Good point.
Water where it's not supposed to be is like really horrible for a motorhome, I've come to find out, or RV, bus, whatever you want to call it. And so the kids are just a little bit too messy with it. And I also didn't think about this with having cushions right next to the sink. So like...
The kids want to get up there and get access.
When the kids are doing anything in the sink, water could be splashing way out here into the living room, and then, you know, it's just a big nightmare. So it's really up to Justin and I to be the dishwashers. Another thing that I would love is like a deep freezer, because we're going to these farms and we can only get so much meat because we only have we have 5 cubic feet of freezer, so I'm not complaining. Like, it's amazing. No. But it would be nice if we could have more, because then we could buy more meat from them. JT Spear, what is the most interesting non-farm place that you've been to so far in traveling? Well, aside from hanging out with you all day in New York City, we really liked the Penobscot Observatory in Maine after the blueberry farm. That place was absolutely amazing. It was really neat to see Maine from 400 feet up in the air. And actually it was probably higher than 400 feet because it's 400 feet from the bridge level and is even farther up than from the water level. But I think that that's our favorite. So the land, hey buddy, how you doing? Wants to know, how's the bus holding up? I think it's holding up great. I mean, you got your little minor issues here and there. Yeah. But other than that, it's doing great. And wear and tear for very active children, I think it's doing fabulous. Wonder Tribe, are there less
unmatched socks now that you're in the bus. I get your question because it's a tiny area. Maybe socks don't disappear. Let's go see. Oh my God. Oh gosh. Case in point here. All right. First of all, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 socks in there, and none of them match. Now granted, they're wearing some, and some are in the laundry, but I think the mystery remains even in a bus. Socks disappear, and I think they're reincarnated as lids. It'll give a bus view.
Audra Avalanche asks, is it hard to find and locate wholesome food while on the road? It hasn't been really hard. Like, we've always had options. It helps that we have a freezer and we can purchase, you know, good food when it's available and have it for later when it's not available. But it really, we haven't gone hungry yet. And we haven't had to compromise on our food yet. So as of now on the East Coast, it's been pretty easy. I think now we may be going into more where it's farther and few between of grocery stores that I'm familiar with. But yeah, so far it's been pretty easy. The problem is just having the time to go buy the food.
Let me change this a little bit. It's a little less backlit when I'm right here. Okay.
Sweet Lorelei asks, what is your favorite thing about living on the bus, and the biggest thing you've learned during this building process and start of living there? Favorite thing about living on the bus would be just that we have everything that we need right here in this little space. I really do like that. I don't want for anything else. Like, we have everything that we need right here in this space, and I really do like that.
When you're at farms, when you're at RV parks, when you're at the Walmart parking lot, or
wherever, the
your
gas
home
station.
is right there in the gas station.
Yeah.
And it's particularly cool when you're at the grocery store and you almost don't even have to get bags because our house is in the parking lot.
Yeah, just bring the cart out and just load the groceries into literally the cabinet in which they're gonna be. She asked another part, hold on. The biggest thing I've learned about all of this is just that I need to slow down and enjoy the process and not be in such a hurry and in such a
what's next.
Yeah, and what's next, like just to really enjoy like where I'm at, being present with what is going on currently.
Green Gables homestead. The thing we're most excited about adding to our homestead when we get back is pigs.
Meat goats. Mona Muase asks, people have been so generous with your family while you visit the farms. Did you expect that hospitality? No. I did not expect it. I don't know why I didn't expect it. I don't want to put expectations on people. Yeah. I don't want to go in anywhere and say, this is what you have to do for me. I mean, we have food, we can cook our own dinners, we can make our own meals. You know, we expect hosts. I guess we don't have any expectations on them except for to show us the farm that we're at. Literally, that is the only expectation we have of coming to a farm, and people have been so generous. I mean, gifts, and then like hanging out. We have we have so many friends now that we would have never had if we didn't go on this trip. So meals with them. It's just been, and like, you know, I'm gluten-free, and that it's a little difficult to if you're not used to being gluten-free, it's very overwhelming to think about not serving gluten at a meal. And so, you know, people have been super generous with working around that gluten-free issue for me so that I can partake in the meal too. And I've been really thankful for that. Roberts 121, how long does it take for us to settle when arriving? That's the easy answer, 1 to 2 hours. It is a big part of it. And then when we leave, probably 2 to 3 hours. Yeah.
Depending on how long we were there. The longer we're there, the more we set up and the more it takes to break down. If we're just overnight, we don't really set up. Maybe it's an hour. So an hour to 3 hours.
Isu Hada asks, how do you manage the winter?
We don't.
We try to drive away from the winter weather.
We're driving with, no, seriously, we're driving with the good weather.
Yeah.
We're in Florida in the winter. We're up here in the summer. We're going to stay up in the northern parts of the U.S. and then hit the southern U.S. again on the way back as it starts getting cold again.
Yeah. Okay, so for colder weather, we do have 2 heaters.
yeah.
One's a propane heater and one is an electric
Yeah.
heater. And we've yet to be cold. Dirt Cheap Homesteader. What kind of music do you listen to while driving Maple?
I listen to audiobooks. Like the boys, they listen to their audiobooks. I have a little trucker's headset. It's got an earmuff on one side. I'm listening to audiobooks.
And I'm actually reading a book. And that's all if I'm not working with the kids on school. Cece Newson asks, what do you do when the children get sick? Allergies? Do you have your doctor on speed dial? And how does insurance work going state to state? When the children get sick, I just treat them like I would when we were in our home. And that is just with elderberry syrup, herbs, natural remedies, things like that. We've yet to run into something that actually needed a doctor for a sickness. We also keep buckets with lids on the bus so that if anyone says they feel like they're going to throw up, they get a bucket immediately. We also have a whole kit that goes with throw up. It has towels with it, it has rags, it has the whole 9 yards, so that if there is a case of sickness, we can get to it quickly and we can avert it going all over the place. As far as allergies, I do think we have suffered from allergies a little bit more because we're in places that we aren't familiar with. When we go back to North Carolina, everything, all of like the post-nasal drip and stuff stops. But as far as allergies, we haven't really had to treat it. So far, nettle is a good herb to treat for allergies, and that's something that we use. As far as how does it work for going state to state, we've actually been to the hospital twice, 2 ER visits, and it works just like when we were at home. Like we'd give them our information, they treat our child. Both of them were they weren't like illness related, they were more accident related. So,
and our insurance goes nationwide.
And it just goes nationwide. It's no big deal. But we have had no problems with insurance at the ERs in other places. Yeah. Growing back to Eden, are you planning on keeping the bus even after the Great American Farm Tour? Yes. We are going to keep it.
One reason we went with the bus is because we feel it's more of an asset, it's more of a growing appreciation. It's more of an investment. In the sense that I think it's going to have more appreciation. I don't know.
Well, it's going to be a guest house.
Yeah.
For us, for when people come and visit us, and they need a place to stay. Yeah. They can stay in the bus. Because who doesn't want to stay in a school bus, you know?
Alright.
Ross Armagost asks, how hard is it when it's pouring down rain outside and when you come in there's a small place to put your boots?
Okay, let me demonstrate. Well, first, let me show you what our staircase can look like in that event. I'm not kidding, it can get pretty cluttered there. And so it's raining, you gotta get your boot on, it's pouring the rain. Oh my gosh, what are you gonna do? You get your socks a little bit wet. Wait, I didn't like that feeling. But you do. And that's a pretty good area. Sometimes we all cram in there and we all just get it done. And that's kind of like our mudroom, wouldn't you say, Becky?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having a little bit bigger of a mudroom.
We could use a bigger mudroom, eh?
Yeah, the mudroom situation is a little rough here, but it does the job.
Thanks for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Here's to 300 more days. No, not 300. Here's to a bunch more days on the road on the Great American Farm Tour, where we're featuring some of the coolest, sustainable backyards, homesteads, and farms.